You have been told your whole life that suffering is something to escape. You have been taught to numb it, to run from it, and to silence it. But what if suffering was never your enemy? What if it was your greatest ally? Think about every setback you have faced, every challenge you have met, and every painful moment you have lived through. None of it came to destroy you. It all came to shape you in the Stoic belief. We welcome suffering not as a curse, but as a tool that transforms us. Pain is the fire that forges you, and you are the raw material waiting to be crafted. It is easy to wish for comfort, to imagine a life without hardship. But the Stoics understood something vital. Real strength does not rise out of avoiding discomfort. It rises when you learn to walk straight into it. The discomfort you fear is the very same force that can elevate you the next time you meet hardship. Do not pull away. Instead, ask how this experience can shape you. If you are ready to stop running from pain and instead turn it into fuel for your growth, then you are in the right place. Consider joining this journey, because here we transform into stronger and more resilient versions of ourselves. Each step you take toward understanding and mastering life's challenges is a step toward a life of meaning. So come with me in this search for growth, wisdom, and strength, and let us turn suffering into something that serves us. You were taught to fear pain, to avoid it in every way. But pain is not your enemy. It is your teacher. It is not punishment. It is the tool that shapes you. Every time you meet hardship, you are not being crushed. You are being crafted. Think about moments when pain entered your life, maybe through heartbreak, failure, or loss. Did it destroy you, or did it reveal a part of you that you never knew? Pain burns away everything that holds you back. It removes the softness, the excess, the weakness, and it reveals what remains your true self. This raw state, this exposed truth, is where your real power hides. It is the core of who you are, waiting to be forged into something stronger, sharper, and more resilient. But there is a catch. The way you respond to pain is what determines its effect in your life. Will you let it defeat you, or will you let it turn you into someone unbreakable? The Stoics taught that hardship should not be avoided, but welcomed Marcus Aurelius said that the obstacle in your path becomes the path itself. The thing that seems to block your way becomes the way forward. Every painful moment is a chance to grow, to build your character, and to sharpen your resolve. Pain is not here to ruin you. It is here to refine you. It is the hammer that shapes the steel. Without it, you would stay soft, weak, and easily bent. But with it, you are tempered and strengthened. And that is where your real power begins. Every scar you carry, whether on your body or in your heart, is a mark of survival. It proves you endured and you overcame each scar. Whether you like it or not is part of your story. You can choose to treat them as reminders of weakness, or you can treat them as symbols of victory. Each one carries the story of a fight you faced, a lesson you learned, and a piece of yourself that was forged in fire. That is what pain does. It molds you. The only question is whether you allow it to build you or break you. Seneca said that difficulties strengthen the mind as work strengthens the body. When you meet hardship, you are not only testing your endurance, you are building the muscles of your mind and heart. You are training yourself to withstand whatever life throws at you the same way. A blacksmith shapes metal with fire and hammer. Your pain shapes you. It sharpens your resilience, your capability, and ultimately your power. Pain is not a force to avoid. It is a tool to use. The more you run from it, the more it controls you. The more you embrace it, the more it sculpts you into who you are meant to become. Welcoming pain does not mean chasing it. It means accepting it when it arrives, learning from it, and letting it drive your growth. Once you do that, pain becomes your ally. It becomes the fire that pushes you forward instead of the weight that drags you down. You may wish for a life without pain, but that wish would rob you of your own strength. Without pain, you would never learn your resilience, your depth, or your potential. Pain is the furnace where you are refined, and through that refining, you rise as your strongest self. So when pain comes, do not shrink. Do not run into comfort or distraction. Face it with open eyes, let it mold you into something unbreakable. The steel is created in the fire, and you are that steel. You are not defined by what hurts you. You are defined by how you rise. From it, the Stoics believed in the power of choice, and you always have the choice to respond in a way that makes you stronger or weaker. So when life throws something hard at you, remember this: you are not being punished, you are being forged. What you do with it is always your choice. Comfort is a lie, promises safety, peace, and an illusion of control. We are told to chase it, to design our lives around it, to avoid anything that feels hard. But what if comfort is the very thing that weakens us? Think about it. Every time you choose the easy path, every time you hide in your comfort zone, you are giving up your strength. You may think you are protecting yourself, but in truth, you are only protecting a false sense of safety. Comfort is the silent enemy. It feels warm and pleasant, but it leaves you stuck, unable to move forward. It is like sinking into soft sand. The more you relax, the deeper you sink. The danger is not only in the world around you. The real danger is what happens inside. When you avoid discomfort, your potential begins to rot. Your growth begins to fade. Many people believe comfort is the final destination, the place where happiness lives. But comfort only creates the illusion of contentment. It lulls you into a sleep where you stop pushing yourself, where you stop growing, and the worst part is, you do not even notice it happening. It is like lying in a warm bed until one day you wake up and realize you have been motionless for far too long. Seneca said that we suffer more in imagination than in reality. When we chase comfort, we hide from real challenges. We convince ourselves that avoiding discomfort will keep us safe and fulfilled, but this is nowhere near the truth. Pain, struggle, and discomfort are natural parts of life, and they are required for growth. When you avoid them, you avoid who you were meant to become. Growth only happens when you push beyond the borders of comfort. The same way a muscle grows only when it is stressed, your character grows only when you face discomfort. Every time you run to comfort, you give away a piece of your power. You choose an easy path, but that path leads nowhere. It is the path of stagnation, of hiding from the challenges that would force you to evolve. Comfort convinces you that happiness is found in avoiding struggle, but real happiness is found in mastering struggle. It is found in learning to stand strong. Even when life shakes you, we have all felt the urge to retreat. When life is hard, we have all wanted a soft place to land when things feel overwhelming. But what if instead of running, we walk toward the struggle? What if we embraced discomfort and treated it as the key to growth? Every challenge and every painful moment can become a step forward if you allow it. The obstacle is not the enemy. The enemy is your refusal to face it, your habit of hiding from it, your instinct to run from it. Think about your own life. When was the last time you left your comfort zone? When did you last do something hard, something scary, something that forced you to grow? It is easy to pretend comfort is where we belong. We are told since childhood to avoid discomfort, to protect ourselves from what hurts, but comfort never lasts. The world does not pause because you are tired or afraid. Life moves on, and you must move with it. The more you avoid discomfort, the more you avoid a meaningful life. It is time to stop running from what challenges you. Stop searching for shortcuts. Stop chasing easy escapes. You do not need comfort, you need strength. Strength to face your fears, strength to confront your doubts, strength to walk through discomfort, knowing it will pass and leave you stronger. In the end, you cannot grow inside a cocoon of ease. You must break through it. You must step into the arena and face your challenges, and with each struggle you rise into something greater. Accepting discomfort is not a burden, it is a revelation. It shows you your true potential when you stop avoiding what is hard. When you stop waiting for the perfect moment, that is when transformation begins. That is when you discover who you really are and what you can really do. Let go of the idea that comfort will bring happiness. Let go of the belief that avoiding pain will keep you safe. Comfort will only weaken you, make you more fragile, and make you depend on anything that feels easy. Comfort steals the strength inside you, the strength to face life as it is. Stop chasing the warm promise of ease and seek the power that comes from facing the cold, from stepping into discomfort, from choosing growth. The world will not stop because you want it to. You must rise. You must face the discomfort of growth. And you must embrace it. Do not run from pain. Meet it head on. That is where your power begins. And when you do, you will see that comfort was never the answer. Power to transform your life has always lived inside you, waiting for its release. Have you ever wondered why some people appear unshakable while others break easily? Why some stand strong in adversity while others fall apart? The answer is simple. Those who grow in struggle have learned to embrace it. Struggle, pain, and hardship are not the villains you were taught to fear. They are the forces that shape you into who you can become when you accept struggle. Instead of fighting it, you unlock a strength that comfort can never give you. Struggle is the fire that forges you, and only through this fire do you become unbreakable. The more you hide from it, the more you resist the lessons life gives you, the more you limit yourself. Life will never remove difficulty, no matter how many walls you build, no matter how much you try to shield yourself. Adversity will always come. The only question that matters is how you respond. Will you run from it? Will you let it break you? Or will you walk straight into the fire and let it transform you? Carl Jung said, "I am not what happened to me, I am what I choose to become," and that is the heart of embracing struggle. You are never defined by what you face. You are defined by the strength you choose to become, nor by the pain you endure. You are defined by how you choose to respond to those challenges. Pain and hardship may shape you, yet they do not have to destroy you. The struggle you face is not a reflection of weakness. It is an invitation to grow stronger. Every time you walk into hardship and refuse to fold, you reinforce your resilience. Every time you push through discomfort, you strengthen your ability to rise in any condition. It is easy to crave comfort. It is easy to look for the path with the least resistance. It is easy to want a life free from obstacles and struggle, yet comfort does not build strength, it weakens it. When you run from struggle, you run from growth. The more you shield yourself from difficulty, the less prepared you become for the real storms of life. It is like building a house on soft soil. It may look fine for a while, yet it will crumble when the storms arrive. On the other hand, when you build your foundation on struggle and perseverance, you prepare yourself for anything. Think about athletes who push their bodies beyond what seems possible. Think about creators who face failure after failure before something finally breaks through. Think about artists who pour heart and soul into their craft despite constant rejection. These people do not flee from struggle. They embrace it. They understand that every challenge is an opportunity to grow, to sharpen, to transform. They know the strength gained from adversity is far greater than any easy achievement. Struggle reshapes you in ways comfort never will. When you are comfortable, there is no reason to grow. You stay still. You repeat the same habits that keep you safe. But when you step into challenge, when you step out of the safety zone, that is when you change. That is when you discover abilities you never knew existed. That is when you stretch beyond the limits you once believed were fixed. Understand that growth does not happen without struggle. It happens because of it. When you step into the fire, you do not merely survive. You are forged by it. Struggle teaches you how to rise, how to become more than yesterday, how to build a level of resilience that makes you impossible to break. Every time you walk into difficulty and move through it, you become sharper, stronger, more grounded. You build a foundation that no one can shake. This is not only physical strength, it is emotional strength, it is mental strength. Life will test you through loss, through hardship, through personal storms. There will always be something that challenges you. Yet every time you rise and meet those challenges, you strengthen the core of who you are. You learn to trust yourself. You learn to believe that you can handle anything that stands in front of you. You are not here to remain soft. You are not here to hide in comfort. You are not here to avoid the storms of life. You are here to rise. You are here to grow through struggle. You are here to become someone who does not fear adversity but welcomes it as a chance to evolve. Remember that your journey is not about avoiding the hard moments. It is about walking into them, embracing them, and using them as fuel for your transformation. The more you face struggle, the more you build the strength to rise above it. The stronger you become, the more unbreakable you are. Real power is in how you handle the challenges placed in your path. Every time you choose to lean into struggle instead of running from it, you grow more resilient, more capable, more powerful. So the next time life places a challenge in front of you, do not hide. Step toward it. Use it. Let it carve you into the person you are meant to become. Your struggles are not here to crush you. They are here to develop you. They are here to mold you into someone sharper, stronger, and unshakable. Embrace them. Let them change you. Because when you rise through the heat, you become something no force can break. You become unbreakable. The world is not fair. It is a hard truth, yet accepting it can change your life. We have been sold this idea that life will reward us simply because we try. We believe that if we work hard, we will receive what we want, that if we are kind, things will return to us. Yet life does not operate on fairness. Life does not care about what you think you deserve. It is not designed to give you comfort. It is designed to test you, to challenge you, and in many moments to leave you to figure things out alone. The sooner you release the belief that life owes you anything, the sooner you can start living on your own terms. This fantasy of fairness traps people. It keeps them waiting for life to hand them what they feel entitled to. They wait for people to act fairly. They wait for circumstances to align. They wait for rewards to arrive. Yet life does not bend to your expectations. When you wait for fairness, you give away your power. You surrender control over how you respond to the world around you. Life will never be fair. When you accept this truth, you stop expecting things to be handed to you. You stop waiting for someone to deliver what you think you deserve. And that is the moment real transformation begins. We create illusions in our minds about what we deserve and how things should unfold. These expectations only trap us in disappointment when life does not match the picture we imagined. When we detach from the fantasy of fairness, we free ourselves from the suffering created by comparison between reality and expectation. In that freedom, we begin to embrace the world as it truly is. Instead of seeking fairness, embrace the raw harshness of reality. The world is unpredictable, chaotic, and often unforgiving. Yet inside that chaos is opportunity, the opportunity to build meaning, purpose, and strength. When you stop waiting for life to be gentle and start facing reality as it is, you begin to see that hardships are not punishments, they are tools. Every difficulty is shaping you into someone who can navigate the world without breaking. You cannot build strength on a foundation of ease. You cannot grow without resistance. The truth remains: the world owes you nothing. Once you understand this, you stop waiting. You start creating. You begin to see that failures and setbacks are not signs of defeat. They are signs that you are moving, that you are reaching, that you are becoming. Only when you accept the harshness of reality can you begin to forge your own way. The belief in fairness keeps you waiting for the world to change, but the world will not meet you halfway. When you stop expecting it to, take control of your life. Embrace the challenge, embrace discomfort, embrace the truth that life becomes what you make of it, not what it gives you. In this understanding you find power. Power to create your own path, power to use every hardship as raw material for your transformation. Think for a moment that everything happening in your life, both good and bad, is unfolding exactly as it should. What if you stopped fighting what you cannot control? What if you stopped waiting for fairness and focused instead on what you can do with what you have? This mental shift is where true power lives. It is not in waiting for things to align. It is in taking whatever life hands you and using it to carve something meaningful. When you embrace reality as it is, you see that challenges, unfairness, and struggle are your greatest allies. They shape you. They test you. They push you to grow. As Epictetus taught, it is not what happens to you that matters, but how you react. When you let go of the fantasy that life should be fair, you stop living in imagination and start living in truth. And in that truth you find the freedom to create your own way. Reality is not a curse. It is the raw material for your transformation. When you accept that life owes you nothing, you become the architect of your future. So release the fantasy of fairness. Stop waiting. Embrace the real world. Use every challenge as fuel. You cannot control everything that happens to you, yet you can control your response. And inside that response is your strength, your power, and your ability to build a life that is truly your own. Rejection is part of this journey. Think about the moments you were rejected, a job you wanted, a relationship that ended, a goal that slipped from your grip. Rejection hits like a wound. It stings. It shakes your ego. It reminds you that life did not follow your plan. It hurts. But rejection is not a curse. It is a hidden gift. It is a sign that you stepped beyond comfort, that you reached for something greater. Rejection strips away illusions. It forces you to face yourself. It exposes your weaknesses, your blind spots, your vulnerabilities. It reveals the truth. That truth may be uncomfortable, yet it is necessary. Rejection chips away at what is false and leaves behind what is real. It uncovers the parts of you that need growth. It exposes gaps you must fill. Without rejection, you would live in illusions about your abilities. Carl Jung said the privilege of a lifetime is to become who you truly are. Rejection is part of that journey. It forces you to reassess, to examine your motives, to look inward and understand what drives you and where you must grow. Your desires and your limitations reveal themselves in these moments. Rejection forces you to look deeper and ask why this attempt failed, what lesson is hidden here, and what this experience is shaping within you. It is uncomfortable to face the truth that not everything will open for you, that some doors remain shut no matter how hard you try. Yet that discomfort is the fire that sharpens you. Just as a blade becomes sharper through steady honing, you become wiser, stronger, and more resilient with each rejection you meet. It teaches you how to keep moving forward even when stopping feels easier. It teaches you humility, perseverance, and the value of honest reflection. Think about everything your past rejections taught you. In the moment it felt like a setback, a disappointment, or even a loss. Yet with time you can see that rejection became a turning point. It revealed something essential about your true desires and about your abilities. It may have pushed you toward a better direction or taught you a deeper lesson in resilience. In that way, rejection is not only something that happens to you, it is something that happens for you. It forces you to adapt, to refine your mindset, and to evolve into someone capable of more. The problem is that most of us have been raised to fear rejection. We have been trained to chase approval, to seek validation, and to avoid failure at any cost. Yet, in doing so, we run away from one of the greatest tools for growth, the ability to embrace rejection and use it as fuel. When you avoid rejection, when you look away from the lessons it offers, you rob yourself of the chance to become your best self. But when you welcome rejection, you unlock a higher level of awareness. You stop depending on the approval of others and begin searching for truth within yourself. You understand that your worth is not shaped by what others think. Rejection becomes less about external judgment and more about internal development. This shift in perspective moves your focus from outer success to inner evolution. Instead of seeing rejection as defeat, you start seeing it as opportunity, a test of your determination, of your patience, and of your willingness to rise again. Every rejection carries within it the possibility for something greater. It is like stepping into a storm. The wind attacks, the rain pours, and everything feels unstable. Yet when the storm passes, the air feels cleaner, the world looks fresher, and everything feels renewed. Rejection mirrors that storm. It shakes you, it challenges you. But once you move through it, you come out stronger, more focused, and more aware. The truth is, you will encounter rejection. Many times throughout your life, no matter how much you grow, no matter how much you achieve, there will always, where efforts fail, yet every moment brings a choice. You can let rejection crush you, or you can rise above it. You can allow it to stop you, or you can let it develop your resilience. You can allow it to make you bitter, or you can let it sharpen your character. Rejection does not define you. It refines you. It cuts away what is unnecessary and reveals the strength waiting beneath the surface. Instead of fearing it, you should embrace it. You should treat it as a tool for transformation and self-discovery. What truly matters is not the rejection itself, but your response to it. Each time you encounter rejection, remind yourself that this is just another step on your path. It is not an ending. It is the beginning of something else. It offers you a chance to grow, to adjust, to return stronger than before. When you embrace rejection, you begin to see that the very things you once feared, the failure, the setbacks, the disappointments, become the forces that push you into greatness. Loneliness is another experience that many treat as a curse. It is something people try to avoid, something they often see as a flaw in their lives. We live in a world that constantly demands connection, validation, and constant reassurance that we matter. People fear solitude because it forces them to face themselves without the distractions of noise and company. Yet solitude is not weakness, it is strength. Loneliness becomes powerful when you stop running from it and start using it as space for growth, clarity, and self-discovery. In the silence of solitude, you finally meet yourself. In those quiet moments, free from the judgment and expectations of others, you hear your true voice. The world constantly overwhelms you with pressure, demands, and instructions about who you should become. But when you embrace solitude, you clear that noise. It is like wiping fog off a window so that the world and your own mind become clear again. In that clarity, your inner voice rises, the voice that gets lost in the chaos of daily life. You stop searching for permission and begin trusting your own judgment. You stop hunting for answers outside and realize they have always been within you. Carl Jung understood this deeply. He said, "Loneliness does not come from the absence of people, but from the inability to share the things that matter most." When you are always surrounded by others, always chasing their approval, you begin to lose your own identity. You become a reflection of their desires rather than a reflection of your true self. Solitude gives you the space to reclaim your identity. It is in these moments of stillness that you understand your true purpose, your true needs, and your true capabilities. It becomes easier to see what you want from life and who you are becoming. In that silence, you return to yourself. It is easy to get lost in the rush, in the noise, and in the constant urge for outside approval. Yet in solitude, you remove all those layers. You do not need anyone else to explain who you are or what path you should follow. You become your own source of strength. You no longer chase validation. You no longer search for reassurance that your direction is correct. When you become comfortable with solitude, you anchor yourself. You remain steady even when the world around you is chaotic. You grow self-sufficient. You rely on your inner stability rather than depending on others for emotional support or recognition. This does not mean that humankind should live in complete separation from one another. Connection matters, but there is a rare power in the ability to stand alone, to sit with your thoughts, and to be at peace in your own presence. When you draw strength from solitude, you stop fearing silence. You come to understand that isolation brings evolution. It is in those quiet moments that you meet yourself fully. You face your fears, your flaws, and your weaknesses, and choose to confront them. Solitude gives you the space to reflect without distraction, to question your beliefs, and to uncover your deepest desires. When you are constantly surrounded by others, by their judgments, and by societal pressure, it becomes easy to lose direction. You may find yourself pursuing goals that never belong to you, living a life shaped by someone else's expectations. But when you embrace solitude, you begin to design your own life. You set your goals based on your values and on your truth, not based on the rules others place on you. This is where true inner strength arises. Power does not come from blending in, it comes from standing apart. It comes from choosing your path and having the courage to walk it, even if you walk it alone. When you can be alone without feeling lonely, when you can sit in your own presence without discomfort, you unlock a form of power that no one can take from you. You stop depending on others for validation. You stop needing the world to confirm that your direction is right. You gain the clarity to decide for yourself. There is something deeply transformative about being alone with your thoughts. Solitude forces you to face your authentic self, not the version you present to others, not the masks you wear in social spaces. It is easy to hide behind roles when you are surrounded by people, but when the world becomes quiet, the masks fall. You see yourself clearly, without filters, without illusions. This clarity may feel uncomfortable at first, yet it is the birthplace of growth. You learn to acknowledge your flaws and accept your imperfections. From that acceptance rises true strength. Solitude also teaches you the art of self-reliance. You stop waiting for others to hand you the answers or to guide your every move. You learn to trust your instincts, your judgment, and your own ability to overcome challenges. You become the source of your own power. This is where real confidence begins. Confidence does not come from praise. It comes from knowing you can stand firm on your own. It comes from the quiet certainty that you are enough as you are, and that within you is everything needed to face whatever comes. Solitude gives you room to reflect on your purpose. We become so wrapped in the busyness of life that we forget to ask ourselves why we do what we do. We chase success, approval, and recognition without ever questioning whether those pursuits align with our truth. Solitude slows everything down. It turns your attention inward. It makes space for the essential questions. What do I want? What are my values? What brings me meaning? When you make time for solitude, you reconnect with what truly matters. You release everything that does not serve your purpose. In that stillness, you rediscover your direction. The power of solitude lies in its ability to strip away everything unnecessary until only truth remains. It reveals your fears, your doubts, and your weaknesses. Yet it also creates a space where strength, clarity, and independence are born. When you stop relying on others for validation, when you no longer need the approval of the world to feel worthy, you become free. You gain the freedom to live your life on your own terms. You become bold enough to pursue your dreams without fear. You step into the person you are meant to be. Solitude is not a curse. It is a blessing. It is the space where you rediscover your identity, your strength, and your purpose. It is where clarity rises, where growth begins, and where self-discovery unfolds. Embrace it. Learn to feel at home in your own presence. Draw power from being alone and let that power shape your life, because the strength found in solitude becomes the foundation for every success that follows. Every failure you experience carries a lesson. Every heartbreak reveals a truth about who you are and who you are becoming. Pain does not need to be feared. It needs to be understood. It is easy to view pain as something to escape from, something that steals joy, or something we wish would disappear. Yet what if pain is not your enemy? What if it is the very force that shapes you into someone stronger, more resilient, and more connected to your true self? When we feel pain, whether through failure, loss, or struggle, it is natural to think it reflects weakness or that it means we are broken. But pain is not punishment, it is instruction. Every painful moment offers the chance to grow. Pain is not a minor inconvenience, it is the fire in which your character is shaped. Think back to the moments that hurt the most. What did you learn from them? What truths did they reveal? Every loss, every disappointment, every heartbreak has carried you forward. Carl Jung said the wound is the place where light enters. That is the essence of pain as a teacher. It is in the wounds that your greatest potential rises. Pain forces you to see your limits, your fears, and your weaknesses. By facing them, you gain the chance to rise beyond them. When you reflect on your struggles, you must ask yourself whether you see them as endings or as moments that strengthened you. It is easy to feel defeated when life does not unfold the way we expect, but when you shift your perspective and look at every failure, every setback, and every painful experience as a valuable lesson, you begin to see them as stepping stones instead of roadblocks. Pain reveals what needs to change, what needs healing, and what needs to be strengthened. It does not only break you, it builds you. Pain teaches you about your limits, but it also reveals the depth of your potential. Every time you walk through a difficult moment, you discover new things about yourself. You learn what you can endure when everything seems stacked against you. You learn that resilience is not just an idea, it is something you have built piece by piece through every tough season. It is easy to believe. You are limited by your circumstances, but pain shows you that you are capable of much more than you think. Pain also acts like a mirror, reflecting the parts of yourself you may not want to see. It forces you to acknowledge your weakness, your fear, and the issues you left unresolved. It removes the comfort of denial and exposes the truth. This truth is not something to fear, it is something to accept and understand. When you allow yourself to feel the pain and understand its lessons, you begin to grow in a way comfort could never provide. Inside the pain you find the motivation to change, the strength to move forward, and the wisdom to avoid repeating old mistakes. Every scar you carry is a reminder of how far you have come. It shows you have survived, endured, and risen beyond the past. These scars are not signs of failure. They are marks of honor, symbols of your strength, your growth, and your resilience. The more scars you gather, the more you learn about your limits, your abilities, and your true potential. Instead of hiding your scars, you embrace them, for each one proves that you faced life directly and came out stronger. Every new challenge is simply another chance to grow. We often approach challenges with fear or dread, thinking they block our happiness. Yet challenges are not barriers. They are invitations for transformation. They push you out of your comfort zone, they force you to rise, and they test the strength you have developed. When a new challenge appears, do not see it as a threat, see it as a gift. It is a chance to sharpen your abilities, to strengthen your character, and to move closer to the person you are meant to be. It is important to understand that pain never lasts forever. It feels endless in the moment. But when you look back, you see that pain is temporary. What stays with you long after the pain fades is the wisdom, the growth, and the evolved version of yourself. When you face pain with an open heart, when you let it teach you rather than break you, it becomes a catalyst for transformation. It becomes the fire that fuels the creation of your stronger self. The truth is, growth does not happen through comfort. It happens in discomfort. It happens in the moments where you are stretched, pushed, and forced to face what you fear most. It is easy to assume growth should feel smooth, that it should come without struggle, but the reality is the opposite. Growth demands discomfort. It demands pain. It demands honesty with yourself and with life. Even though this process is difficult, it is the only path that shapes you into who you are meant to become. So the next time you feel pain, do not run from it, do not numb it, and do not deny it. Face it. Ask yourself what lesson this pain carries. Ask yourself how this experience can shape your next steps. Ask yourself how this hardship can help you evolve. Every time you ask these questions, you move closer to your true potential. You begin to understand that pain is not your enemy, it is your teacher and your guide. The pain you face today is shaping the stronger person you will be tomorrow. Pain in all its forms is a powerful teacher. It may be uncomfortable, but it is necessary. It is the hammer that shapes the stone and the fire that forges the sword. Without pain there is no growth. Without challenge there is no strength. So allow pain to teach you. Allow it to sharpen you. When you emerge on the other side, you will be stronger, wiser, and ready for whatever comes next. Safety is an illusion. We hear the idea that staying in your comfort zone, keeping your head down and avoiding risk will protect you from failure and disappointment. It sounds comforting, does it not, the idea that if you do not shake the boat you will never sink? But this illusion of safety is actually dangerous. It keeps you small and keeps you from discovering your real power. The world does not reward those who hide. It rewards those who walk into the unknown, who face fear and discomfort with courage. If you are not willing to step into the fire, you will never uncover the strength inside you. When you stay in your comfort zone, you choose the easy path. It feels secure, but it leads to a life that is limited and unfulfilled. You are not growing, you are not expanding, and you are not becoming the person you were meant to be. Safety traps you inside what you already know. It creates a bubble of false control. But life does not operate inside comfort. Life is unpredictable, wild, and constantly shifting, so why would you limit yourself to a space that keeps you from evolving? Carl Jung said, "You are what you do, not what you say you will do." These words capture what it means to break free from safety. It is easy to talk about dreams, to imagine growth, to wish for a life of purpose, but without action, those dreams never breathe. The real test is stepping into discomfort and taking the risks that lead you to the life you want. Safety does not protect you. It weakens you. It locks you inside a version of yourself that is safe but empty. When you constantly run toward comfort, you avoid the experiences that shape your character. Discomfort is where transformation begins. It is the fire that refines you and the pressure that turns coal into diamonds. Only through discomfort can you unlock your true strength, resilience, and growth. Greatness is never created inside comfort zones. Comfort creates complacency. Stepping beyond what feels safe gives you the power to evolve and to reach new heights. Fear of discomfort is normal. Nobody wants to experience pain or failure. Yet what if instead of avoiding these experiences you welcomed them? What if you understood that every fear, every challenge, and every moment of discomfort was actually a step forward? That is where the real growth happens. You cannot grow in comfort. You cannot become stronger by avoiding everything that challenges you. Strength is not built by running away from discomfort. It is built by stepping into it, by learning to rise and thrive whenever adversity appears. Each time you move beyond your comfort zone, you expand your ability to handle whatever life throws at you. You develop the resilience needed to face even bigger challenges later on. You must choose what you want, more safety or power. Safety keeps you stuck in the same routine, living a predictable, comfortable life that eventually feels empty. Power comes from choosing the unknown, from pushing yourself until you grow, and from meeting the discomfort of change with courage. Power is born in uncertainty. It is created in the heat of struggle and discomfort. So whenever you are choosing between staying in your safe little bubble or stepping into the unknown, remember that your real strength waits on the other side of discomfort. Comfort will never make you stronger. Comfort weakens you by giving you a false sense of security that traps you in a cycle of stagnation. When you refuse to challenge yourself, when you avoid the discomfort that creates growth, you deny yourself the chance to discover how capable you truly are. The discomfort you fear is the exact thing that will help you evolve. Every time you face something uncomfortable, you grow. Every time you step through fear, you gain more strength. Every time you pick discomfort over safety, you build a new version of yourself, a version that is stronger, more resilient, and more capable than you ever imagined. Stepping outside your comfort zone is not only about taking risks, it is about taking back your power. It is about refusing to be held down by the lie that safety is the source of happiness. Safety tells you that the easy path is the right path, that avoiding challenges will bring you peace. But peace does not come from hiding from discomfort. Peace comes from learning to meet discomfort with courage and with strength. When you choose the harder path, the one that challenges you, and the one that stretches you beyond your limits. You become more than you were before. You evolve, you grow, and you become powerful. The more you resist the pull of comfort, the stronger you become. Each time you stand in the face of fear, each time you step into discomfort, you build a new muscle, a muscle made of resilience, courage, and inner strength. You stop relying on the world around you to create your happiness or your security. You begin to build your own power. You become the one who shapes your path, who decides to rise in adversity, and who creates a life filled with purpose and strength. So the next time you must choose between staying in your comfort zone or moving into the unknown, remember that safety is an illusion. Discomfort is your ally. Walk toward it, step into it, because your true power is hidden inside it. And once you embrace this truth, you realize that the discomfort you feared was the thing that turned you into the strongest version of yourself. Power does not live in safety. Power is found when you move beyond it. Emotions are powerful forces that shape your behavior, your choices, and even the way you see the world. At their best, emotions inspire you, connect you to others, and push you toward your goals. At their worst, they cloud your mind, overwhelm you, and take control of your actions. Most people let their emotions run their lives. They react without thinking, letting anger, fear, and doubt decide everything they do. But imagine if you could flip the script. Imagine if you took the raw energy inside your emotions and turned it into fuel that drives you forward. The key is not to suppress your emotions. The key is to control them and use them as tools for growth. Emotions are not good or bad. They are simply energy, raw and unfiltered. What matters is what you do with that energy. Take anger, for example. Anger is often seen as destructive. It is easy to lose yourself in it, to lash out and to make choices you later regret. But anger can be turned into strength. It can push you to work harder and fight for what matters. Seneca said that anger without control harms you more than whatever caused it. Yet, when you channel anger toward your goals, it becomes one of your strongest weapons. Fear is another emotion that holds people back. Fear freezes you, stops you from taking risks, and keeps you from growing. But if you stop fearing fear itself, you can use it differently. Fear sharpens your focus and heightens your awareness. When you face fear directly, when you refuse to let it dictate your choices, it begins to lose its power. Fear becomes a signal that you are standing at the edge of something important, something life-changing. Carl Jung said that accepting yourself fully is one of the most terrifying things you can do. Fear exists to guide you, not to stop you. It shows you the direction you need to move toward. Use fear to push yourself farther than your comfort zone and to build the courage needed for your next step. Doubt is another emotion that can stop you without even making a sound. Doubt whispers that you are not enough, that you will fail, that you should not try. But doubt, too, can be turned into strength. Instead of letting it destroy your confidence, let it challenge you. Let doubt push you to prove yourself wrong. Every moment of doubt is a chance to grow. Doubt becomes your ally when you confront it, when you use it as a reminder that your growth begins outside the safety of comfort. The key to turning emotions into weapons lies in mastering control. Emotions are not monsters to fear, and they are not problems to ignore. Suppressing your emotions gives them more power, but when you acknowledge them, study them, and then direct their energy, you take back control of your life. Emotional mastery allows you to respond with intention instead of reacting impulsively. When you control your emotions, you control your direction. You become the one who decides how to react, how to move forward, and how to use the energy rising inside you. Emotional control does not mean pretending you do not feel anything. It does not mean shutting down anger, fear, or doubt. It means recognizing them and deciding how to use them. You do not need to act on every emotion you feel. True strength comes from being able to pause, reflect, and choose your response. Emotions are like fire. They can burn everything down, or they can be used to warm you and give you power. When you learn to control them, you use their fire to grow stronger. You have experienced moments when your emotions took over. Maybe you said something in anger that you later regretted, or maybe fear kept you from a chance that might have changed your life. Imagine if in those moments you could have paused and chosen your response. Your life would be different. That is the power of emotional control. It is not about shutting down your feelings. It is about understanding what they are telling you and using them strategically. When you control your emotions stop controlling you. You begin to act from purpose instead of impulse. You guide your life instead of letting your emotions guide it for you. This kind of self-mastery is one of the most important parts of personal growth. It helps you face adversity with calm, make choices with clarity, and move through life with purpose. It is the difference between being ruled by emotion and being the master of your inner world. So, the next time anger rises, the next time fear creeps in, the next time doubt begins to whisper, take control. Let anger fuel your drive. Let fear sharpen your focus. Let doubt push you to rise. When you take control of your emotions, you turn them into weapons. And when your emotions become weapons, you become unstoppable. The power to shape your life belongs to you. Do not let your emotions run your life. Turn them into the fuel that builds the future you want. Discipline is not born from comfort, it is born from pain. Many believe that discipline is something they can simply choose, that with enough effort they will stay focused and get things done. But real discipline is forged through struggle. It is created when you push past the limits of what feels easy. Every time you face discomfort, every time you leave your comfort zone and keep moving, you build the foundation for real discipline. The moments that shape your discipline are not the easy ones. They are the moments when you are tired, when you want to quit, when every part of you is begging for rest. Those are the moments that carve discipline into your character. When you push through the pain, you strengthen your will, you strengthen your focus, and you strengthen your ability to keep going no matter how hard things get. Think about the times you have truly succeeded. Not the simple wins, but the victories that meant something. Those victories always came after hardship, after struggle, after moments when you had to fight for the result. Those are the moments that build real discipline. Because discipline is not doing what is easy. Discipline is doing what is necessary even when it is hard. Every time you choose to keep going even when your mind tells you to stop, you are not just building discipline, you are transforming yourself. You are proving to yourself that you are stronger than you believe, that you are capable of far more than you ever expected. The more you endure, the more you grow, and with every challenge your discipline sharpens and strengthens. Every moment of pain gives you a choice. You can let it crush you, or you can use it to forge yourself into someone stronger and more resilient. It is never the circumstances that define who we are, but rather how we respond to them that shapes our character. In the face of difficulty, you are presented with the opportunity to either surrender or rise. Discipline is the tool that allows you to rise. It is the ability to take the hard path, the road few choose, the road that leads to growth. Discipline is not about avoiding discomfort, but about transforming it into fuel for your journey. The more you confront challenges directly, the stronger your discipline becomes, and the stronger your discipline, the more control and power you have over your life. Discipline is not something you are born with. It is a skill cultivated through repeated decisions to choose the hard over the easy, to focus over distraction, to show up even when you do not feel like it. Through the daily practice of making tough choices, pushing yourself beyond limits, and committing to the work, you build discipline. It is a slow process requiring patience and persistence, yet its rewards are beyond imagination. At first, discipline feels elusive. It is forged in the fires of struggle, in those moments when every fiber of your being wants to quit, yet you press on. Those are the moments that prove your capacity to endure and succeed. With every small victory, your discipline grows, your resolve strengthens, and you inch closer to becoming the person you were always meant to be. Suffering is what gives discipline its power. Discipline does not emerge from comfort or ease. It is born from hardship, and perseverance. Every time you persist, every time you resist distraction, every time you keep going despite exhaustion, you are shaping your willpower, fortifying your resolve, and reinforcing your ability to remain disciplined. Pain and struggle are the raw materials of discipline. Without them, there is no transformation, no growth, no strength. It is in the fire of adversity that discipline is forged into a force capable of shaping your life. By pushing through difficulty, you transform weaknesses into strengths, doubts into confidence, and discomfort into power. Discipline is not about occasional effort. It is about consistency, even when it is hard. It is taking small actions daily, even when immediate results are invisible, trusting that every moment of challenge is an investment in your future self. Each step forward, no matter how small, is a building block toward the life you desire. Avoiding discomfort is easy. Our world constantly tempts us with the path of least resistance. But comfort does not produce character or discipline. It is only by stepping beyond limits, embracing struggle, and confronting pain that discipline is developed. Discipline forms the bridge between where you are now and where you wish to go. The more you make it a part of who you are, the more you realize that nothing is impossible. The results may not appear immediately, yet every decision to stay disciplined is an investment in your potential. It is simple to look at those who seem to have it all together and believe they were born with some secret gift. The truth is, they have learned to endure. They have embraced discomfort, setbacks, and failures, and used them as fuel. You can do the same. Every moment you feel like giving up, remember it is precisely in those moments that your discipline is being forged. That is when you are becoming stronger, greater, and unstoppable. Discipline is born from pain. It does not come easily or overnight, but through persistence in discomfort and repeated hard choices, you build unshakable strength, crafting the life you want, one disciplined step at a time. Embrace the struggle. Every moment of pain is an opportunity to grow, to build, and to become the person you were always meant to be. In the end, it is the furnace of suffering that forges the strongest steel and the discipline formed. Through that suffering becomes the weapon that carries you to success. Perfection is a trap, a fantasy sold to us as a noble goal, but one that leads nowhere. We have all chased the illusion of perfection, believing that once we attain it, everything will fall into place. But what if perfection does not exist? What if pursuing it keeps you trapped, constantly striving for something unattainable while missing the real opportunities before you? Perfection is an illusion. The sooner you let go of the need to be perfect, the sooner you can make real progress. The pursuit of perfection is not about flawlessness, but about embracing the messy and imperfect path of growth. Think of the times you felt most proud and accomplished. Those moments rarely came when everything was perfect. They came when you risked failure, made mistakes, and kept moving forward. Growth does not follow a straight line. Progress is messy, filled with setbacks and moments that feel stagnant. That is where real transformation occurs. Every mistake, every misstep, every failure is a lesson guiding you closer to where you want to be. You learn more from struggle than from effortless success. Challenges, errors, and failures are essential to becoming the person you aspire to be. Perfection blocks this process. When you focus on being perfect, you confine yourself to a narrow, impossible standard. You measure yourself against unrealistic ideals instead of embracing freedom, learning, and growth. Perfection leaves no space for authenticity. It hides the parts of yourself that are human, flawed, and imperfect. True growth begins when you accept these parts, when you allow mistakes and imperfection to shape your journey. Letting go of perfection allows you to become your true self and to embrace self-discovery instead of chasing an illusion of what you think you should be. We chase perfection because we fear failure, criticism, and judgment. We believe perfection will protect us from disappointment. The truth is, perfection only traps us. In pursuing flawless outcomes, we set ourselves up for endless dissatisfaction. There will always be something else to fix, something else to improve. And in the process, We miss the beauty of growth, learning, and self-discovery. Perfection keeps us stuck in comparison. We see the polished lives of others and think we must match them. But every person walks a unique path. The only comparison that matters is the one to who you were yesterday. Real progress is measured not against others, but by how far you have traveled on your own journey. By focusing on progress over perfection, you shift attention from external validation to internal growth. You stop seeking approval and start appreciating lessons, experiences, and personal evolution. The path of improvement is not meant to be perfect, it is meant to be real, it is meant to be messy, full of detours and obstacles. No universal blueprint guarantees success. The most successful people are those who embrace imperfection, keep moving, and persist when life deviates from plan. It is through navigating the mess, facing setbacks, and continuing forward that true growth occurs. They understand that failure is not the opposite of success, but an integral part of it. The path to achievement is lined with mistakes, setbacks, and challenges, yet instead of seeing them as barriers, they view them as opportunities to learn, to grow, and to improve. In a society that teaches us to fear failure, to avoid mistakes, and to chase perfection, we often cultivate anxiety, stress, and self-doubt. By releasing the need to be perfect, we liberate ourselves from the constant pressure to get everything right. We grant ourselves permission to be imperfect, to stumble, and to learn from every misstep. And in that space, true progress emerges. Progress is not about reaching some unattainable ideal. It is about moving forward, growing steadily, and evolving consistently. Perfectionism suffocates creativity and limits potential. When we are consumed by the desire to get everything precisely right, we miss opportunities to experiment, to explore, and to innovate. By embracing imperfection, we open the door to creativity, to risk-taking, and to possibilities that perfectionism could never allow. Some of the greatest inventions, the most groundbreaking ideas, and the most transformative breakthroughs arise from mistakes, failures, and unexpected detours. Letting go of perfection invites growth that could not exist under the guise of flawlessness. The relentless pursuit of perfection leads only to stagnation. When chasing an ideal that does not exist, satisfaction is elusive and contentment remains just out of reach. In contrast, focusing on progress allows fulfillment to emerge from the journey itself. We begin to value small victories, the lessons learned, and the growth achieved along the way. Progress, unlike perfection, grounds us in reality, giving us a sense of accomplishment that is authentic and lasting. Release the illusion of perfection. Embrace the mess, the errors, and the failures as essential components of the process. Focus on progress over perfection. Each small step forward is a step toward becoming the person you are meant to be. Perfection is a falsehood, but progress is tangible, and in its pursuit we find growth, fulfillment, and the success we have always sought. Everything in life is temporary. This is a difficult truth, often ignored because it feels unsettling. Yet consider it. Everything we hold dear, everything that seems permanent, possessions, status, even relationships, is fleeting. No matter how tightly we cling, life is in constant motion. The more we attempt to control and preserve, the more vulnerable we become, like trying to hold sand in a clenched fist. True power does not arise from gripping external things, it emerges from accepting their impermanence. It comes from embracing the reality that nothing lasts forever. When we internalize this, we release fear and cultivate strength. Epictetus understood this deeply. Wealth is not measured by possessions, but by having few desires. True freedom is not in accumulation, but in detachment from possessions, outcomes, and status. Releasing attachment allows us to see the world anew. We no longer fear losing what we value. Instead, we appreciate it fully while it lasts. This does not mean indifference. It means embracing the transient nature of life, living in the moment, and finding peace within ourselves rather than in external stability. Attachments generate expectations, and expectations in a world of constant change often lead to disappointment. The more we cling to permanence, the more we suffer when change inevitably occurs. Accepting impermanence allows us to understand that both joy and loss are natural and necessary parts of life. Those who embrace impermanence often appear unshakable. They are not caught in the desire to preserve everything. They understand that life is fluid, that nothing is forever, and by internalizing this, they free themselves from fear and loss. They are defined not by possessions, relationships, or status, but by their ability to adapt, to move with the flow, and to maintain peace amid uncertainty. Detachment grants the freedom to fully experience life. We stop attempting to control outcomes and instead learn to cherish each moment for what it is, without the need to cling eternally. Possessions, people, and goals are beautiful, yet temporary. Recognizing this allows us to appreciate their presence without fearing their absence. This realization may feel unsettling, yet it is profoundly liberating. Accepting impermanence dissolves fear, and we stop measuring happiness by what we have or lack. Inner peace becomes independent of external circumstances. This is freedom, living fully without clinging. Understanding that all things come and go. Embracing impermanence allows us to live fully in the present. Life becomes precious precisely because it is fleeting. By valuing the present rather than desperately trying to hold on to it, we embrace the natural rhythm of beginnings and endings. Life is meant to be lived fully, not held tightly. Letting go allows us to experience its richness as it unfolds. While sadness may accompany loss, it can be faced with grace when we understand it as part of life's natural cycle. Acceptance of impermanence transforms uncertainty into opportunity. Each ending, each change becomes a chance to learn, to grow, and to evolve into a deeper, more resilient version of ourselves. By releasing attachment to what is temporary, we cultivate strength, courage, and clarity. Ultimately, true power lies in detachment. When you detach from the need for things to remain the same, from the desire to control outcomes, and from the fear of loss, you become untouchable. Life's fluctuations no longer disturb your inner peace. You come to accept the impermanence of everything, your possessions, your relationships, your circumstances, and in doing so, you liberate yourself from the grip of attachment. Nothing can be taken from you because you no longer cling to anything. You live fully in the present, knowing that everything is temporary, and it is precisely this transience that makes life precious. In a world overwhelmed by constant noise, endless chatter, social media updates, and people speaking over one another, it is easy to forget the power of silence. We live in an age where expressing opinions is encouraged, where speaking up is seen as a right, and where the loudest voice often dominates. Yet, in a world consumed by noise, silence can be your greatest weapon. Silence is not weakness, it is not the absence of sound. Silence commands attention. It makes others pause, listen, and wonder what you might say next. It creates uncertainty, and in that uncertainty lies power. There is immense strength in silence. It is a tool many overlook, but when wielded intentionally, it can grant control over any situation. Consider the people you have encountered who rarely need to speak, yet the atmosphere shifts the moment they enter a room. Their presence alone commands respect. They carry an unspoken authority, a quiet confidence that makes others take notice without a single word. The Stoic philosopher Marcus Aurelius once said, "That silence is a lesson learned in the quietest of hours. In silence, we observe, we reflect, and we gain understanding." The insight gathered in these moments provides a unique edge over those who fill every space with words, often saying little of substance. We have all experienced conversations dominated by someone who speaks constantly, leaving little room for meaningful exchange. Then there are those rare individuals who speak sparingly, yet every word carries weight. Every sentence is intentional, carefully considered before it is spoken. This is the power of silence. It is not about withdrawing or avoiding interaction, but about controlling when and how you communicate. When you speak, make it count. Let each word carry meaning. Silence becomes a tool to sharpen your thoughts, prioritize clarity over confusion, and communicate with purpose. Withholding words cultivates power. By not rushing to fill every pause, you allow yourself to gather thoughts, to process situations fully before responding. In doing so, you gain clarity that others, lost in their own noise, might miss. While others compete to be heard, you stand apart by listening and observing, gaining insight into what is unspoken. Silence becomes an active strategy. Controlling your speech means controlling the conversation. There is a rare strength in knowing when to speak and when to remain silent. Many people err by speaking too much, filling every gap unnecessarily. Silence, however, communicates thoughtfulness, authority, and composure. The weight of silence is unmatched. It compels attention, invites curiosity, and forces others to consider your presence. Silence also reveals character. Words can conceal uncertainty, but silence demands self-confidence. It takes courage to remain quiet when the instinct is to speak, yet doing so cultivates mastery over oneself. You cease seeking constant validation and instead rely on your inner sense of assurance. Your silence reflects calm, clarity, and self-control. In a world addicted to instant communication, silence allows you to break free from chaos. It grants the space to think, reflect, and make decisions from calm rather than impulse. The more you practice silence, the more you comprehend its power. You respond intentionally rather than reacting reflexively. You realize that the loudest voices are often the least effective. Those who speak with purpose, who understand the weight of their words, leave lasting impressions. Silence disrupts the noise around you. In conversations filled with overlapping voices, your quiet can create a pause, forcing others to stop, reflect, and listen. It allows space for deeper understanding, giving people the chance to process and genuinely absorb what is communicated. When you allow moments of silence in your life and interactions, you create clarity and space for authentic communication, far beyond surface-level chatter. This is the essence of being unshakable. You do not need to fill every moment with sound or prove yourself through speech. True power lies in the ability to choose when to speak and when to remain silent. In silence, you become more than just another voice. You become a presence. You command attention, inspire pause, and convey meaning without uttering a word. Your silence becomes a declaration of strength, a testament to your self-assurance, and a mirror of your inner calm. So the next time you find yourself in a conversation or situation where words fly fast and uncontrolled, remember the power of silence. Use it not to retreat, but to assert your presence. Let your silence convey confidence, clarity, and mastery. And when you do decide to speak, make each word deliberate and meaningful. Speak with intention, knowing your words carry weight because they originate from thoughtfulness and purpose. In a world overflowing with noise, silence is a weapon that commands respect, sparks curiosity, and allows you to remain firm, unshaken, and unwavering. Life will present suffering whether you seek it or not. It is not something you can avoid or plan around. Suffering is a natural part of existence, a force that appears without invitation, often at the most inconvenient moments. Whether it's the loss of a loved one, a career setback, personal failure, or the relentless challenges of daily life, pain will find you. But here's the truth: how you respond to that suffering is what defines you. The choice lies within your hands. You can let suffering drain your energy and hope, or you can transform it into fuel for growth, shaping a stronger version of yourself. It is not the suffering itself that defines you. It is your response to it. Suffering is impartial. It does not care who you are, what you have accomplished, or what you deserve. Yet, while we cannot control the pain we encounter, We can control how we use it. Every painful moment presents an opportunity to become sharper, stronger, and more resilient. Think back on the most challenging experiences of your life. It wasn't merely the pain that shaped you, it was the way you confronted it, how you persisted when progress seemed impossible. True strength is revealed not by avoiding hardship, but by navigating it and rising above it. You are not defined by your suffering. You are defined by the person you become through it. This is the essence of strength forged through suffering. Hardship need not be a sentence or a permanent weight. It can serve as a catalyst for growth, a stepping stone to a higher version of yourself. Every trial, every moment of pain is an opportunity to redefine who you are, to emerge stronger, wiser, and more capable than before. The most formidable individuals are not those who have avoided struggle. They are those who faced adversity head-on, learned from it, and transformed it into strength. Each difficulty, each challenge becomes a rung on the ladder toward the person they were always meant to be. It is easy to envy those who appear strong, to assume their strength came without struggle. Yet real strength is never born from comfort. It is forged in adversity, through fire and challenge. When hardship strikes, you are presented with two choices: let it break you or let it build you. Understand that suffering does not determine your worth, it reveals your potential. Pain exposes vulnerability, fear, and weakness, but it also offers the chance to confront, challenge, and surpass them. Each painful moment is a mirror, showing you what you are capable of. Each time you face suffering, you grow emotionally, mentally, and spiritually in ways that comfort never allows. The best version of yourself is often sculpted in the crucible of trials. Strength born from suffering is not about becoming numb or indifferent to pain. It is about facing it with courage, using it as fuel, and learning from it. True resilience is cultivated through embracing difficulties, not avoiding them. When you confront your most painful experiences with grace and transform them into a source of power, you become unstoppable. You cease to be defined by circumstances and instead step into the person you were meant to be. Resilience is not the absence of pain, it is your ability to rise again. Every time life knocks you down, those who are truly resilient have been tested, battered, and broken, only to rebuild stronger than before. They have harnessed suffering as a tool, converting each setback into an opportunity for growth. The path to strength is never linear. It twists, turns, and presents obstacles. Each challenge contributes to your development. While it may appear that some people are naturally strong, true strength is earned through struggle, determination, and persistence. Every time you face adversity without surrendering, you deepen the well of strength from which you can draw in the future. Accepting suffering as part of life allows you to release the illusion that existence should be easy. Letting go of resistance frees you from the victim mindset, from the belief that you are powerless against pain. Instead, you can recognize suffering as a tool for growth, something that can propel you toward resilience and empowerment. The more you meet hardship with the mindset that it is an opportunity, the stronger you become. Every setback, every failure, every painful moment becomes a chance to refine yourself, learn, and improve. Remember, suffering is not there to destroy you, it is there to forge you. The strength you cultivate through hardship will carry you through life's most formidable challenges, emerging each time unbroken and stronger than before. Suffering is not punishment. It is part of the process of becoming the person you were always meant to be. Embrace the fire, learn from it, and allow it to shape a version of yourself that is unshakable, resilient, and unstoppable. The fire will come, it always does. Life will present obstacles that feel as though they are consuming everything you have built. It will challenge your resolve and test the foundations you thought were secure. Yet this fire, though it may seem destructive at first, is the forge in which your greatest strength is created. As painful as it feels, this fire is exactly what you need to become the person you are meant to be. What if I told you that from the ashes of destruction, something new can emerge, stronger, sharper, and more resilient than ever before? This fire isn't here to annihilate you, it's here to rebirth you, Life's hardships are unavoidable, no matter how much you try to shield yourself, no matter how many walls you build, challenges will arrive. There is no escaping the inevitable. We all face moments that feel as if everything is collapsing, but in those moments you have a choice. You can let the fire consume you, or you can let it shape you. You can rise from the ashes as someone who has learned from the experience, someone stronger, more resilient, and more focused on what truly matters. When the fire strikes, it strips away everything you believe to be permanent. It forces you to confront the truth about yourself and life itself. When the smoke clears, what will remain? Will you stand there fragile and defeated, or will you rise transformed, ready to face the world with renewed strength? This is the essence of reinvention. It's not about escaping pain or hardship, it's about embracing the lessons that accompany them. Each time you endure difficulty, you are presented with the chance to grow. Each time you experience loss, failure, or disappointment, you are offered the opportunity to reinvent yourself, stronger, wiser, and more capable of handling whatever comes next. The fire doesn't consider your plans, your comfort, or your expectations. It doesn't ask for permission. But your response is everything. If you resist it, if you fight against the pain and ignore the lessons it brings, you remain stuck, clinging to what's already gone. But if you confront the fire, allow it to burn away what no longer serves you, you emerge renewed. You shed your old skin and rise like steel from the flames, tougher, sharper, and unyielding. True strength is forged in fire, but let's be clear, transformation is not automatic. It's not easy. It requires courage to walk through the flames and let them refine what's necessary. You will feel vulnerable. You will question yourself. Yet it's only by enduring the heat, by embracing the pressure, that you become the person you were destined to be. On the other side of the fire, the fears, insecurities, and doubts that once restrained you lose their power. The fire burns, but it also refines. It strengthens you, sharpens your focus, and equips you to handle any challenge that life throws your way. Growth doesn't happen in comfort. It occurs when you are pushed to the limits, forced to confront your deepest fears and face your most painful truths. In these moments, you discover who you truly are, what you are made of, and what you are capable of. If you've endured hardships and emerged on the other side, you know what I mean. The pain didn't destroy you. It made you stronger, someone able to withstand more, endure more, and rise above anything life presents. Consider the challenges that once felt insurmountable. How did you respond? Did you let them break you, or did you choose to rise? That choice was always yours. It's easy to let hardship define you negatively, to convince yourself you're not enough, that you'll never overcome it. Yet in those moments, you also hold the power to choose differently. You can choose to break, or you can choose transformation. Choosing to rise, to learn and grow from the pain will always serve you more than succumbing to despair. Reinvention through fire is about shedding your old self. It's about realizing you are not defined by your circumstances, your failures, or your past. You are defined by your response, by how you move forward. The fire does not change who you are, it reveals who you are. It exposes your resilience, your strength, and your capacity to overcome. So when the fire comes, do not run, do not hide, walk into it, knowing it's precisely what you need to become the person you were always meant to be. Transformation lies in embracing struggle and understanding that hard times are part of the process. Every challenge you face presents the opportunity to reinvent yourself. Each time you rise above adversity, you become more capable, more powerful, and more unshakable. The fire may burn, but it also refines, shaping you into something stronger, something able to withstand any setback or obstacle. Remember this, the fire will come, but it is not the fire that defines you. It is how you respond. You can choose to let it destroy you, or you can rise from the flames, stronger and more resilient than ever before. The choice is always yours. When you rise, you will discover strength within yourself that you never knew existed. You will be reborn from the fire, ready to confront anything with unwavering confidence and unstoppable power. Step into the flames, embrace the struggle, allow it to forge you into someone unbreakable. Thank you for watching Stoicism Notebook. If you found strength in today's message, make sure to watch the next video on the screen. Until then, stay strong, stay resilient, and keep evolving.